Hello everybody! I decided I wanted to make a video just to chronicle so far my journey on Toreba, a crane game website where you could win actual prizes. Uh, this is mostly for my own sake. I know that most people won't really care, but I wanted to sort of just document things so far. And I started playing 6 months ago. I figured now is a good time as any to say what I've done so far, what I've won, and all that. I do want to keep in mind a couple of things before we begin. First of all, I haven't written a script for this video at all, so if I stop and go or whatever, nah, it's fine. Again, this video is mostly just for my own sake. I don't think anyone's actually going to watch it. That's okay. Also, I'm not advocating a website like this. I'll be showing you a bunch of stuff that I've won over time. I'm also going to be talking about spending probably more money than this stuff is worth if you just buy it. So, I'm not really advocating anything, just saying what I did. And I enjoy it. It's something I find almost like a stress reliever, trying to get at stuff and try to win stuff, even if it can be itself stressful at times. But if you don't getting any enjoyment out of it, this is not necessarily an endorsement per se. I'm just trying to have fun. But anyway, I wanted to go through. So like I said, I started playing on September 16th, 2023, about 6 months ago. Sorry, 2022. And that first day, I actually did super, super well. I thought, man, this site is easy. And if I did keep up with that well, then it would have been well worth it, of course. But that didn't happen. I bought a subscription to Toreba Prime, which is $3 for just a little bit of pool each time, but it's only $3 a month. Seemed like a good idea. And using that, the first thing I won was this little Deku figurine that I hang in my car. Hangs it from my mirror. Usually have it up there all the time. I have here video clip of the winning pool there. It was a ping pong machine. So you could see that I just had to get a ping pong ball into that red hole. And when I started playing, the cup over on the other side was already pretty full. So it didn't take long for me to grab some balls and get one of them to fall right in there, winning me the prize, which was awesome. I actually still had a little bit left over at the time at that point, so I went ahead and played another game. And that other game was for a random draw of sleeping little figurines from Detective Conan. There were 5 of them in total, and which one I would have gotten if I won was completely random. And I only really cared about 2 of them. The Sleeping Conan was pretty cool, the Sleeping Kaito was pretty cool, and the other 3 characters I couldn't care less about. But thankfully, I did try that one, and I did win. I learned later this machine was actually quite difficult, but I did manage to win, and got myself a Kaito figurine. I do also have a recording of that winning video. It was also a ping pong machine, but a very different one. Where this one, you had to, when you grabbed the balls, it would bring them over to this red section. It had to swing down and fall into a specific hole in the red section to go rolling onto the yellow section. Otherwise, in a different hole, it would just go back to the front. And from the yellow section, it had to go into a specific hole for you to win the prize. This is not easy, but I got very, very, very lucky. So on that same first day, I also won this machine, as you'll see here. You'll see this ball, this series of balls, roll down the red section. Only a couple of them make it into the yellow section. Maybe even only one. Only the one did, but that one happened to go straight in the correct hole, and I won myself my Sleeping Kaito figurine. My Sleeping Kaito figurine, which I have here. I like him a lot, and so does my cat. My cat is a big fan of knocking this off the shelf. It's pretty much a daily occurrence that I have to pick it back up. The next thing I won after that was a while later. I was still playing every once in a while, just a little bit. I didn't want to actually spend much money, and I had already used my subscription service. But then one day I got drunk. And when I was drunk, I saw a figure that I quite liked, and I spent way too much money. This was the first bad night that I had in terms of Toreba. It was on the September 23rd, according to the website records. I did manage to win. I got my Goro from Genshin Impact, and I love him, and he's great. but he was very expensive and probably not worth the cost I spent on him. That's when I set the rule to never play drunk again. As before, I have a winning clip right here. This was the game. I did eventually get an assist, so this was an assist was turned on. This guy was resting right up against the edge here when I was able to knock him over. Again, this was with an assist, so that's how much I spent. But yeah, worked out quite well for me, I guess. I got the toy. Wasn't the best amount of money, but I got the toy. After that, I stopped playing for a little while because, again, spent a lot of money. But I did get a little bit tempted at the end of the month. September 27th rolls around, and I noticed that Toreba had these huge gyoza pillow things that I thought were super, super cute. I kind of wanted one, and there was a ping pong ball drop machine that was actually looked pretty winnable. I'll switch over to that. Looked pretty winnable. There weren't very many balls in there, and I've had good luck in the past, at least when I got my Deku. So I aimed for that. I'll be showing that prize in a second once I show this winning replay. But yeah, I didn't spend very much on this at all. This was extremely affordable. I got lucky enough that it was a small amount of balls, and then I got lucky enough that one of the first ones I went for plopped straight into that hole right there. And I got myself my prize. So that's right here, this big gyoza plushie. He's super cute, super soft, and very, very affordable. This one was probably worth the cost, for sure. So right now I've had one very expensive one, three pretty cheap and actually affordable ones. Life was going pretty well. And then on the first of the month, my subscription rolled back in. I did forget to mention when I got Goro, in addition to spending way too much money, I also signed up for the second level subscription. So now instead of $3 a month for a few plays, I'm paying $23 a month for quite a bit more. And I still have that, so I'm still doing that $23 a month. So when the 1st of October rolled around, I now suddenly found myself with quite a bit more to play with. And I saw another toy that I quite liked. This guy whose name I don't even know, from an anime that I've never even watched. I think he's from Demon Slayer? Yeah, I think he's from Demon Slayer. But maybe one day I'll get around to watching it. But I thought he was cool. I still think he's cool. Nice cape. Happy with this one. And this one was just got through my subscription. Once again, I will show the winning run there, the winning replay. It was another ping pong ball machine. I've had good luck with those thus far in my history, and so I went for it again. This one was a little bit different. I couldn't grab two like I did with Deku. But still, got a nice little bounce in there, which you'll see in a second, and landed right on in the hole in the middle. Perfectly, just falls straight in. That didn't cost me very much, so I was happy with that. And I was able to keep playing a bit. At this point, I was getting a good amount of free tickets per day, because again, spend a lot of money on this guy, and you get free tickets if you spend a lot of money. And I still had some TP left over to play with. That's the currency on Toreba. When I happened to notice a machine with this little guy in it, cute little figurine, where he looked very, very winnable. It was just looked like somebody had left this machine in a position where the prize was just very gettable. So I went for it. This is the machine here. I could see that this prize was there, and it took me 2 attempts. The first one didn't work out, but on the second attempt, I went and grabbed this thing, this box, and you'll see it fly right out. I also have learned since, I've become quite more familiar with a lot of the machines on Toreba, that this one can be very deceptive and often looks like it's about ready to come out when it's not. So I was, again, pretty lucky that it actually was, that I was correct on this occasion. There have been other occasions where I was not correct at all. Anyway, I got that guy, which was awesome. And then I kept playing with free play money, and eventually I saw another big thing that I thought looked quite winnable. A giant stuffed lion. They actually still have available on Toreba. You can still try to win these. I'll show you the lion in a second. Let me get the winning replay here going. But this machine I thought also looked good. I still had free play tickets, so this one was actually entirely free for me. I did not have to spend a dime trying to get this one out. Bear in mind, between some of these victories was quite a lot of spending. Not a lot of spending, but a fair amount of spending on nothing. There were times when I realized I had to give up. So, I might say this one was free, and it was free, but I've still spent a lot of money in between. So here's that lion right here. He's pretty big, bigger than I actually even realized when I won him, so I was pretty excited when that came, and I'm pretty happy with it. That brings me to the end of October. So now we're 2 months in, and I'm doing fine. We're going into November 1st, and once again, I have quite a bit of money. I knew what I had wanted. I was aiming for a Denji figurine from Chainsaw Man. But before we get there, I again noticed a machine which had one of these little guys dangling in it that again looked like it was just super winnable. It looked like it would cost me next to nothing to try for it. So on November 1st, this was actually the first thing I won. I could show you that replay where I won this guy. You can see that he's just right there, and I found him like this. It took me one attempt. I went into the machine and saw he looks like he's barely hanging in there. I don't know who played before me and just kind of left him there, but someone did. So I just popped that guy right on down. You can see my pop. So that was a great one. Later on after that, though, I focused on Denji. It took a few days. I was being patient. I didn't want to just spend a ton of money not winning anything on something that didn't look winnable, but I kept watching the machines for my Denji figurine, or plushie rather, not figurine, my Denji plushie, and I eventually got him. So he is here with me now too. Hello. I'll show you that winning replay as well. This one took me a while, but it was not an assist. I was able to eventually work this guy over by myself. I did not get an assist on this one. It cost me about, I would say, it took me about 15 pulls before I eventually got him over there to a good enough position where I could lean him over. I think I've seen people do a lot better when I'm just watching, but I'm not amazing at this. Still, I'm pretty proud of that one, actually, because that was not an assist. I got him over there myself. After the Denji, I encountered some other toys that I actually quite wanted. This is still November. I still didn't want to. I didn't want to spend too much, but there were these cats, these big cats that I thought were super cute. I really wanted one, so I eventually did cave. I spent a fair amount of money trying to win this guy. I thought he was super cute, and I really wanted him, and I think he was worth it, even if it was, a little bit pricey on this one. So I'll show you that winning replay. This was the machine, and again, this was an assist now, so you can see he's up and over. Assists don't come for cheap. So I was trying this one for a while. I spent quite a bit of money on this one, and I wasn't feeling great about it, to be honest, because, well, I spent a lot of money. But I did get him down. There he goes. Papo. And I was able to take him home with me. What I do feel great about was my next win. So this guy was pretty expensive. I spent a lot of money on him. Then 3 days later, so this was on November 7th, 3 days later, I'm using some of my free tickets, and I idly just happened to look back at that exact same machine with the exact same cat, same pair of cats, and I saw this. I opened up the machine. I, again, don't know who left it in this position. I don't know who did this, but I saw this. And I already had figurine A. That was the one I just showed you. But I went in there with one of my free tickets, and completely for free, and thus pretty much justifying the cost of the first one I wanted, was able to pop down the other one. So now I have both. You can see this one here where I just pop, knock him down. Someone left that there, and I don't know if they were still watching, but they were probably really upset because I got that in one play for free at that point, which was great. So that's him right here. So I have both of them, which I think is awesome. I'm thrilled to have both of them, and it made me feel a lot better about how much I spent on this one when I got this one for free to come along with it. They both came in the same box. Great times were had by all. And then came the dark time. December rolled around, and in December, I got spent my $23, got my subscription, and spent it all on nothing. I lost. December was a bad month. I didn't win anything in September. In December. Not a single prize. I spent the entirety of my subscription money trying to win something and failing. I then got kind of disheartened, didn't want to play again for a while, pretty much turned off Toreba for a long while, until January came around, and in January, I swore I would never make that mistake again. So in January, I got my subscription money, so I got a good amount to play with, and then I waited, and I sat on it. I didn't want to spend anything on anything I didn't really want all that much, or that didn't look easy to win. Until eventually, I found this guy. This pup that I quite like. I thought looked super cool. And he's from Monster Hunter. I have not seen Monster Hunter either, but I thought this pup was really cool. I really like him. Really high quality, good stuff. I spent a fair amount of money on this, but just with my subscription. I didn't have to spend anything additional beyond my subscription. So, really not that bad. Well worth it. And again, this one was not an assist. I was able to push this guy to a good position by myself, and then eventually was able to knock him over. It wasn't free by any means. It wasn't really all that cheap in terms of number of pulls, but because it was through the subscription, I feel very good about that one. Very happy with that one. That was on September 7th. I had to wait a few days, and then again I didn't touch Toreba in the rest of January. It was January 7th, I should say. Then I didn't touch Toreba for the rest of January. I was being really, really good about it. At this point, I thought, maybe my problems are over. I'm not spending as much. I've had a few failures. I was pretty upset about those, and I'm starting to get wiser. All the way up until February, I didn't touch Toreba except to occasionally play some free play tickets. Then February came around, and I did the same thing I did with the pup. I waited until there was a good machine with good odds, and I spent my subscription money on something that I thought I really wanted. In this case, it was this reversible octopus thing that's angry and pink on one side and happy and blue on the other. And I kind of always wanted one of these in my car, just sitting in the dash, reflecting my mood. Usually it'll be blue, but every once in a while, if my students piss me off, put on the angry side. But so I went ahead and went for it. I thought that would be a really cool thing to have. And this went pretty quickly, pretty easily. It was another ping pong ball machine. I saw that there were very few balls available, so I went for it. And when there were 2 balls left, I went and grabbed one. I think I had actually missed one just before this, but I tried again. I grabbed the ball and was able to carry it right on over into the other side, and it pops right in. You'll see it in a second. It pops right into the hole, and everything's great. Blammo. And that was early February, but then I still had some TP left, and this became a bit of a problem. You see, I still had some money left to spend, some pulls left, and that was tempting me, taunting me every day since. So eventually one day, I got a little drunk again, and I had this rule against playing drunk, but when you're drunk, sometimes you break your own rules. And I saw this machine that looked like it was probably going to be winnable. It was for another Denji. I do like Denji quite a bit. And it was a ping pong ball machine that only had like 9 or 10 balls. I had enough plays to play maybe 5 times. And I went for it. But then as I went, when I got through with all my TP, I thought to myself, there's only a couple of balls left in the machine. I didn't win with any of them, but there's only a couple left. Surely, I'm good at these ping pong ball machines usually. Surely I'll win soon. I should go for it. And when I didn't win again with the next set, I bought some more. And when I didn't win again with that set, that's when I thought to myself I should stop. But there's only like 2 balls left. I don't want to have spent that much money. Because now at this point I have spent money. I don't want to spend that much money for someone else to swoop in and get it for free. It should be mine. So I kept going. And eventually I did get it. This is my attempt. I picked up the last ball. At this point, it doesn't actually matter if it goes in the hole or not. According to the rules of Toreba, if you pick up the last ball, and it's an automatic win anyway, even if you didn't get it in the hole. But this one happens to go in anyway. It bounces straight in. So I guess I won in 2 different ways. Still, I spent more than I would like to, and I reinforced my rule, never play this game drunk. I have this now. I don't even know why I have this. It's a smaller Denji than the one I already showed you that I already have. There's no real need for me to have this one. He's cool. I like him. I like the yellower hair. I like the smile. I like the eyes. In a lot of ways, he's better than this one, even though this one's a lot bigger and also really cool. But I didn't need this. I shouldn't have spent that much money. So I once again said, I'm never going to play again. Or at least not until the end of the month. But I did spend enough at this point with paying for this. I did spend enough that I earned 1 free play ticket per day. And one day, it was the 10th of the month. It was the 10th of the month of February. And on Toreba, on the 10th of each month, you get 2 free tickets just for being a player. So I had 2 free tickets for that, 1 free ticket for spending enough money, and I managed to win a free ticket with the daily. You have a daily chance of winning free tickets. So I had 4 free tickets this one day on the 10th, and I did use them, and I used them effectively. I found this machine for another toy that I'll show you in a second. Another toy from Chainsaw Man, but not Denji this time. And on my 4th play, I used all 4 of my tickets, but on my 4th play, I was able to grab this box and pull it right on down and win myself an Owie toy from Chainsaw Man. That's him right here. This one is about as big as the original Denji I got, so they sit together. And I'm really happy with that because I do quite like Chainsaw Man. So maybe it was worth buying this little Denji, because if it wasn't for that 4th free play ticket, I would not have won. I did win with all 4 of them. Still, I said I was done. I said I was going to be done for the month. I'm not going to play again. And then they came out with Kagamine Len Q-Posket figurines. Kagamine Len has been my favorite Vocaloid forever. I don't listen to a lot of Vocaloid stuff. I'm not a huge fan of Vocaloids overall, but Kagamine Len has always been my favorite. He's great. He's great. And I really wanted that Q-Posket. So I had been watching the machines, and if there was ever going to be a time where it was easy enough where something looked winnable, I wanted to go for it. On February 17th, I encountered a ping pong ball machine that had 6 balls left in it. And remember what I said, if you empty out all of the balls, even if you don't get it in, that's still considered a victory. So I went for it. I thought to myself, in the best case, I could get this awesome toy for $4.50 because I can buy enough plays to play once. I'd still have some left over because $4.50 is the minimum you can spend. And if I win in one, that'd be dope. But even if it took me all 6 balls, that's still only going to cost me like $22. And Q-Posket figurines, I looked them up online, cost like $35 to $39. And this one in particular doesn't come out until next August, so I'd be getting it early and only spending $22, and that's in the worst case. Well, it turned out the worst case did happen. I did have to use all 6 balls. I did get down to the last ball, and even with this last ball, which I was able to pick up, I didn't miss any of the balls, thankfully. But even when I picked up this last ball, it's not going to go into the hole. This winning replay doesn't actually show what appears to be a win, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to. That was the last ball. So they still counted it as a win, and I still got my Kagamine Len Cube Basket, which I have right here. I haven't even opened the box yet because this is a version B. You can see that. Where does it say B on it? It says somewhere. I think it's right there, the version 2. Maybe that's what that 2 is. I'm not sure. But I kind of like the A version better. The other version, you can see it on the barcode for sure. It says B. Kind of like the A version a bit better. So I was hoping to trade with somebody. So I haven't opened this yet. I might eventually cave, depending on whether or not I find someone to trade with to get the A version. But I'm still quite happy with it. I'm glad I have a Len with me. After this, I did stop playing for the month. March 1st rolled around, and on March 1st, I did want to play again. And things were not great on the 1st, not perfect. I was aiming for Kagamine Rin, his sister. I figured having the pair would be kind of cool, having them go to each other. So I wanted a Kagamine Rin Cube Basket to go with the first one. And I saw a machine that I thought looked very winnable, but I was wrong. It was not as winnable as I thought. I spent all of my 40,000 that I got from my subscription on it, but at this point, this one has assist available, so I kept going. I bought a few more purchases of it. I spent a little bit more. Maybe shouldn't have done that, but I don't like spending all of my 40,000 and not getting anything. So eventually I did get an assist. It wasn't super expensive. It wasn't super much more than the $23 subscription already. But I eventually was able to get an assist on this one and was able to win my Kagamine Rin, which so far is the last prize I've won. And I can't show you that one because it hasn't arrived yet. I only ordered, it only went out for shipping a couple of days ago, so it should be arriving pretty soon. But it's not here yet, so I don't have it to show you, but that should be coming soon. Unfortunately, that is the A version, so I especially kind of want to trade this B version of Len for the A version just so that I have the matching set. That's again why I haven't opened this box yet, but I should be able to get that. That should be arriving pretty soon. And that, so far, is my Toreba experience. That's everything I've won and everything that I have. Again, there were some misses, some failures in between. I spent a good amount of money on this website. I enjoy it. Don't recommend it for everyone, but I have some pretty cool stuff now, from the most expensive little toy that I ever bought to some things that were completely free. And I've had a great time doing it. That's all I got for you. If you're interested in a shorter version of this where I just show the toys, I guess I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video instead of the very end. But if you don't want to spend the time watching a half-hour long video, I do have a short version where I just show all the toys right one after another without all of this backstory and the winning replays and all that. But I just wanted to document this mostly for myself. So, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you in another 6 months when I maybe make another one of these. See ya.